now, everyone. More to our 100 Days of Rio celebration. It'll be the first ever Olympics held in South America.
Let us welcome back Bob Costas, host of NBC's Primetime Olympics coverage. He's in Rio, checking things out. Bob, good morning again. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys, too, even from this distance. And as you know, predicting the failure of an Olympic Games has almost become an Olympic event in and of itself. But in the case of Rio de Janeiro, there are, in fact, serious issues confronting the host city. And it's not at all certain that they will all be solved by the time the cauldron is lit.
I have the honor to announce that the Games of the 31st Olympiad are awarded to the city of Rio de Janeiro.
In 2009, that announcement set off a massive celebration on Copacabana Beach. At the time, Brazil's economy was booming, and the first Olympics in South America seemed a perfect opportunity to showcase a country that seemed ascendant. But much of Brazil's economic strength was fueled by the discovery of oil off its coast. As that commodity's fortunes have turned, so too has Brazil's. Inflation is now rampant, and the economy shrank by 4% last year.
It had all the right ingredients. It had a big and booming population. Its commodities were surging, but then oil prices crashed. And frankly, now the economy is in one of its worst recessions in 25 years.
In addition to the financial difficulties, the country's leadership is in turmoil.
Brazil's president has lost an impeachment vote and faces being thrown out of office.
President Dilma Rousseff is caught up in a political crisis that could lead to her impeachment.
We don't even know if the president is going to be in power for that opening ceremony. So it's with a lot of apprehension, I think, that Brazilians look at the Olympics right now.
In Brazil, ground zero for the outbreak.
In addition to ongoing concerns about the Zika virus, there's the question of water quality at Olympic venues such as sailing.
We haven't seen the government deal with things like basic sanitation in Rio adequately. We haven't seen it deal with mosquito-borne epidemic of dengue for the past few decades. I have no real reason to believe that things will be significantly different with Zika.
For all the challenges that Rio faces, there are many that have already been met. Nearly all the venues are complete, and a series of successful test events have been held. Major transportation projects are, in fact, on track.
And at this stage, we are in advance regarding many operations.
What's certain is that Rio remains one of the most visually spectacular and welcoming cities in the world. This August, we'll see if that serves as the lasting impression of these Olympic Games. And you Today Show folks will have quite the view here this summer. Your set will be just up the beach from where we are now at the famed Copacabana Beach, and it is also where beach volleyball will be contested. That'll be one of the most exciting venues, and they hope, if they can get past all the logistical problems and all the rest of the issues which we've just mentioned, they hope that this will be one ongoing, nearly 3-week-long party.
Yeah, that's the second time this morning you've mentioned the ongoing party, Bob. You've been there a couple of days. You have firsthand experience?
Yeah. Well, I've spoken with the ambassador and with the head of the Olympic Organizing Committee, and they are not the leading party animals in Brazil. So we may have to leave that report to Ryan Seacrest, who's uniquely qualified.
Indeed, but Bob, you're not too shabby yourself. Talk about some of the athletes that you're watching. What are going to be the big storylines?
Well, Michael Phelps returns. Matt had his interview with him. He told us flatly in London, I am done. I'm never jumping in a pool again. But he did a 180, and now here he comes to try to add to that medal haul. It's already a record of 22. And then there's the remarkable Usain Bolt, the fastest human in the history of the planet, trying to do it 3 times in a row in the 100, the 200, and then running the anchor leg in the 4x1. So there's Usain Bolt. You can't take your eyes off him. And then there's Simone Biles, the young U.S. gymnast who has won the last 3 world championships. We'll have our eyes on her as well.
Nobody does it better than Bob Costas, the traveling Olympic historian and encyclopedia. Bob, we can't wait. It's nice to see you, and thanks for the preview.